The first question that you were interested in addressing is how does the word transition relate to where you are in your life today?
When I saw that question, what I liked about it, I'm right there. I'm 53, turning 54 very soon. And I feel like I am transitioning from the life that I've wanted to build and that I've worked so hard to build to that life. Like I actually I'm living it. I'm living it like I hope to be living it. I'm lucky enough to say that I am living the way that I would like to be living. So I'm transitioning from all the doing and doing to get to a place to now just kind of like being and being very content with the life that I've built with a lot of work and sacrifices. And now I'm just kind of sitting down and being in it, being fully
Beautiful.
in it. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's like a big, giant sigh of relief, right?
It is
Yeah.
because I'm fortunate to be able to say that I'm living it. Not every, I'm healthy, I'm happy, so I can say that. So that's been the transition for me. It's from all the doing into being and to entering to the life that I that I worked for.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you could sit beside your 10-year younger self, what would you whisper in her ear?
I, without sounding too high on myself, I would congratulate myself. I would congratulate myself. I did it. I look back as we all do on our sacrifices, and they paid off. So I would congratulate myself, and I would also encourage myself to stay with the discipline. I think discipline has given me the freedom to do a lot of the things that I get to do now and that I've done. Just keeping up with that discipline. I mean, I'm a yogi, and we live through a discipline. We follow a discipline, right?
Yeah, yeah. And was there kind of a roadmap that you created for yourself to stick to with regard to the discipline piece?
Definitely, I think that, when I was a very young girl, I was a competitive gymnast. And that had a lot of discipline. You had to find the right time to do your homework. You couldn't do it like other kids after school. You had to really choose and be organized in many ways. So I think that from a very young age, that gave me the structure of being that sort of personality where this goes first, this goes second, this takes priority, and I've kept it. And then I moved on to my yoga, and that discipline of my yoga has me balanced and walking straight.
I know that feeling.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
we're one of the chosen ones, the lucky ones.
Exactly, the lucky ones for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say freedom means to you now?
It- Many things, but I'm a mother, and you're always worrying. As a mother, you're always worrying. So right now, that gives me a lot of freedom. I have two beautiful, beautiful boys. They're adults, they're 25 and they're 28. They have careers, they have girlfriends, they have friends, they're healthy, they're happy, they're fully independent. And that gives me a lot of freedom, honestly, because I see other friends of mine that might even have kids that age, and they're still the parents are still very concerned. So I think that my kids have definitely given me that gift of that freedom of not to worry, even though I'm going to worry until the day I die. But at least, but at least I have no reason to worry. I just worry. Um, so that gives me a lot of freedom. a
Mm.
lot of freedom in space in my mind and time in my life to get up and go, to travel, to move, to that gives me a lot of freedom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so different when, as you say, we as parents, we always are going to worry about something. But when there are monumental reasons to be worried, like, I have some friends who have kids who um, are adults who recently relapsed, or have a whole host of mental health challenges that present a kind of different level of
Yes.
worry that is, almost becomes a preoccupation, and then the work is to be able to find
Yes.
space and be able to compartmentalize that worry so that they can live their lives. My friends,
Yes.
um, you
There's
know
that saying, I forgot what it says, but it says something like that a mother will always be as happy as her least happy child.
hmm yeah.
That's really it. So that freedom, definitely. And then the freedom of not always having to be doing so much. I think I mentioned to you the last time that we were together how we shared that in yoga, they, of course, everything is the sun and the moon and the sun and the moon, in our hatha yoga. But definitely the first 50 years of our life we're always just giving and giving and trying to go places like the sun. And then from 50 up we just kind of sit like the moon and just be shined upon and be a lot more, calm. So I feel that tremendously. I feel that sense of calm, and that gives me freedom.
mm, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Are you clear about who you're becoming in this stage of life? I think you already
Yes.
answered that.
Yes. I'm completely clear in what I am becoming, in the sense that I have a spiritual path. I want to stay in my spiritual path. It's what does me well. Um, and I'm really becoming someone that cares less and less about things you shouldn't care about. and, and that's and that's great. And I look back at it sometimes when there's like family dramas or gossip or whatever, and I'm like, it's so cool how I just don't really care anymore, because my peace of mind has become my priority and my delight and my joy. So I've really shaped it, and I want to continue it that way. And I see sometimes, when friends of mine have phone calls with their parents, with their mothers, and some of them say, "Oh, my mom is always complaining, everything hurts. Oh, my mom is always making me feel guilty." So I take note, so hopefully I don't step into those shoes when I'm much older and I don't have my kids complain about those things. So I'm really calculating where I'm going. I'm still really calculating it. So yes, I know where I'm going.
Yeah,
I
I think you're about 50 years away from from that inevitability if it happens at all. you know.
hope so, yes.
Just as an aside, I had the privilege of interviewing a woman who is going to be 95 in May next month. And one of the things she was saying, she was so full of life and so full of joy and so full of, like, you know, basic contentment around being alive and well and breathing. And she lives in Manhattan, and she talked about loving to take the bus. And the
Wow.
reason she loves to take the bus is because she walks with a walker. She gets to the bus stop, the doors open up, the bus driver gets this, like, automatic ramp that comes
Yeah.
down, and she walks up with her walker onto the bus. Everyone on the bus stands up to give her a seat, and she
Yeah.
said, "I feel like a princess." you know and she was so adorable. I hope that some piece of that clip gets put up on Instagram.
I
It's
love
so
it.
so so sweet.
Love
It's
it.
so so sweet. So, we can get into our 90s and upwards of 90 and still be as vibrant as Jane is,
Of course,
hopefully. Um,
hopefully.
yeah.
Yes,
Are,
hopefully.
are there parts of your story longing to be retold or shared or honored or reshaped?
I think so. I lived many lives in my life. I've lived many different lives. I've had things that have happened to me where I've had to get up and start all over again, several times, and I'm good at it. My kids always admire that about me. But now that I'm getting older, I always think that, my children, they think that my life started when they were born. That they don't. So I wish I could share more of what it was like before, I became a mother, because we were it was like another life. So that I wish I got more attention from them to share more. And then I have a lot of newer friends that that might not know the old things about me. And yes, at times I would like to share that more. Not so important, but yes, I would like to share more. I think that we're not just who we are today. There's a whole, life behind us that it would be nice to retell and share and rejoice in, which is what we do when we meet up with old friends. I mean, isn't it great when you get to meet with like a high school friend that really know? I have a dear friend of mine. She lives here in Miami, and we've been very, very close since we're like, I don't know, 8. And we try to have dinner and drinks um, every couple of months. And whenever I'm with her, I really feel like I'm 15 years old. The subject, the giggles, the gossiping, everything becomes like that, and I like it. I like it. I wish there was ways of going back and really, you know, touch
Yeah.
what it used to be.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of have a taste of that with my brother and sister. Um,
Yes.
and it's so interesting because we're we all grew up in the same household. We're 2 years apart. I'm the eldest, and our perceptions of what that was like and
Different.
how completely different. Completely different. It's like, wait. Weren't
Yes.
we all eating Rice Krispies? I mean,
No,
but
no,
it's so different and it's really fascinating.
no. And they say that we all had different parents because our relationship with our mother and our father had nothing to do with our siblings' relationship with our mother and our father. Now, I do tell you I have great siblings. I am very close to my siblings. But sometimes when I'm in that family environment with my siblings, um, I get triggered in a way where I'm the youngest. So I kind of go back to being that youngest, and I don't feel seen for the grown-up woman that I am
Mm,
today. So in that environment, I wish I could show them more who I am today, be seen like that. But then in the environment of like my children or my new friends, I wish I could tap more
mm.
on my old self.
Yeah, interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me who you've become with the support of other women walking beside you.
Mm. So when I was younger, I was working a lot, working, working, working. And in the last 10 years that I've really dedicated myself to doing retreats and doing wellness gathering, um, I am so lucky because I really never thought how needed it was for women in our age to have that support of other women. I had my kids, I had my sisters, and I had my husband, and it was great. But now that I have this support of women, I see how much we need it. Women, we like to speak and we like to be listened to, and other women are the best to do that, to listen and to speak. But if I had any advice for the younger woman, is get yourself some good girlfriends
Mm.
because at our age, I think they become a key to our to venting out, to complaining about our husbands, to crying, to everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Definitely, the support of other women is extremely powerful.
Mm, I can't agree more.
Yes.
Um, okay, rapid fire questions. So these questions are designed for one word answers, which
Hmm.
is challenging and doable.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready? One word that describes you.
I'm joyful.
One thing that women overthink.
They shrink. They're not good enough.
Something you stopped apologizing for.
My boundaries,
A daily ritual you cherish.
my sun salutations.
And one belief you've outgrown.
One belief I've outgrown. In one word,
Uh huh. Or
because,
two or three.
okay, that my value is not in my productivity. That for sure comes with age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yes.
Beautiful. And is there anything else that you would like to share with us about your journey, your transition, your life from where you began to here and where we are now?
Yes, what I shared with the other day that we were together, we shared how right now, right now is this big change of where aging is seen different and women are seen different. So I do think that we have a big responsibility to show the younger woman how it can be done. Now that we can speak out freely about menopause and even embrace it without shame and actually with some sort of joy for much of what comes with it. Um, I think we're the leaders of that. I think that not even 2 years back where was it as important as it is today. So we have to really be leaders in that. And I'm lucky enough to be a yoga teacher. So I am surrounded by many other women, most of them younger than me, in an environment where our hearts are open. And it's so important to lead by example in that sense of joy, of how beautiful it is to get older and have more confidence in yourself and care less about things and need less people, and all that is just it's wonderful, especially
Life
now
goes.
that there's more research in all our symptoms of aging, so we don't have to struggle as much as our moms did.
Mm, so true.
Yes.
So true. We can embrace it.
Right. We can
Yeah.
embrace it. We can even talk about it. Before
Yeah.
it was, who wanted to talk about that? How embarrassing.
I know. Someone asked me questions about how my mom dealt with menopause, and I had no idea.
No.
I mean, really,
They
I don't
were bitter
know.
and locked up and not being able to, they didn't even know if that was it. They
Right.
didn't know that the hormones were changing and they,
Mm-hmm.
needed to do something about it. Absolutely. It's,
Yeah. Yeah. Just
we're,
we're
we're the
lucky.
leaders. Yeah. We're the leaders in this.
Yeah. So lucky. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us.
Oh, Annie, it's such a joy to see you, even though I was
Likewise.
more in person.